the game as a kid, just with a lot of things shuffled, and we'll get into that in a moment here. Or we'll get into that as we go along, as we are getting ready to start right off the bat here. So King giving the instructions, and we've got gold in the main room, as well as some more big bucks, and the obligatory magic key to start off with.
A lot of gold to start off with, depending on what the town right next to the castle is. Could make a few nice purchases here.
And we've got the town of Garanham in the vanilla Brecconary spot. So already going to go over here. A great ability. We got a hand axe on Xarnax's side, also a small shield. And Ouijawii going to do the same here. A hand axe, also leather armor, and a small shield. Might have been leather armor on Xarnax's side as well. Did not get to see it there. And everybody going right on into Garanham to utilize that 1,000+ gold. So that'll allow for a nice offensive start here, as our runners are looking to find and defeat, although it's pretty obvious where the Dragon Lord is, that little castle right across the river there. But they're going to be looking to defeat the evil Dragon Lord.
Oh man, poor Ouijawii getting trolled by the old man in front of the item shop. Just did not want to let him buy some items.
The NPCs can certainly be trolly. Our runners will be looking to collect certain key items to trade in for the rainbow drop, which will allow the runners to cross over that little island and get to Charlotte Castle, home of the Dragon Lord. And as you see, they're fighting enemies one at a time to gain experience and levels to get stronger, as Xarnax now up to level 2, as well as gold to purchase weapons, armor, and items to help in their quest. And while the overworld map is not randomized, there's quite a bit that is. The contents of the treasure chests and the search spots are randomized, as are the locations of the towns and caves. As we see here, Link is in the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight cave, which looks to be up in the normal tablet cave section, and that has some big bucks. And a blue dragon with hurt on the outside, but oh, that attack is definitely going to hurt Link there. That is for sure. Also, the contents of the weapons and armor shops are randomized, as are the order of spells learned, though they're guaranteed to learn all 10 spells by level 16. And the enemy locations, as well as their spells and abilities, are randomized, as we see the ghost here with the sleep spell.
And something else I see is, at least by level 3, Heal More has been learned. Actually, level 2 is where that is learned, so most of the runners here have already got Heal More. That'll make for exploration, actually all runners have Heal More. That'll make exploration a lot easier.
Also, the spell of Repel learned pretty quickly, as well as Ouijawii up to level 5 and is grinding along the hills to gain some more levels here. Xarnax now going to go into the Tablet Cave's vanilla location, which in the seed is the Stones of Sunlight cave, containing some gold.
And depending on how much time you want to spend doing it, that is very possible to grind up some gold for some better equipment. And do you see what I see down there on Xarnax's screen, by the way?
Is that a... Oh my goodness, is that a Dragon Lord sprite?
I think the Dragon Lord is playing on Xarnax's screen over there. He's working towards himself. Or will he be working towards Loto?
That will be interesting, to say the least, as now a Wraith over on Xarnax's end. Meanwhile, a Wraith Knight taking out Linkforce. Also, the Seawolf taking out a Drakema up to level 5. Level 5s for most of our runners here, except for Link, who's at level 4. And a pair of deaths with a fire-breathing Drakema. And minimal gains in the various levels to the delight of Empty Eye. Ooh, and the town of Garanham this time around is Hawksness. So we have an enemy that will be guarding a spike tile, and there's one searchable item in there. And we'll see what it is, but first they have to Well, first in Seawolf's case, he has to get there. Minimal resources here. Oh, and the Stone Man is going to use the Diet Wombo combo of Sleep and Hurt More. Ouijawii sees Hawksness, thinks about it for a second, is going to head on in here. As now level 5 for Link. And it's an Axe Knight in the Guardian spot. So once our runners grab Hurt More, that will certainly help with making this seed go even faster. As Xarnax now heading to the east and going to take a look at what's in the town of Cole, but runs into an armored knight who says, nope, back to the castle you go. So now the Seawolf going to take the high road here to venture. Oh, and runs into a Wraith Knight. Isn't able to put it to sleep. Does the second time, though, and runs away. Little known fact with the game, when you put an enemy to sleep, you're guaranteed to run away from them. And we got our first sighting of the Red Dragon known as the Fun Police, which when they show up, the fun tends to stop, and certainly doing so as it hit for 52, I believe it was. So now our runner's looking for towns to be able to get information. The town that they're ideally looking for is the town of Rimeldar, as that will have access to purchase keys, which will allow our runners to unlock some doors that have other treasure chests that can lead to some of the other search spot items. Or rather, the items to trade in for the rainbow drop. So now we've got Xarnax working on some grinding on the southern hills, as that little area there is a completely different zone than most of the ones nearby, and the Seawolf finding the Red Dragon.
Yeah, that's actually the tricky thing here, is with this being the vanilla map, the monster zones are actually able to be known as to what zone you're wandering into. It's just what monsters are going to be in those zones that you won't know.
Yeah, so our runner's running into their first bit of difficulty, attempting to traverse over toward the vanilla town of Cole. Or in Linkforce's case, finding the Stone Man and not quite getting over to the Guardian enemy in Hawksness. Now, as our runners are grinding up here, Xarnax taking a debt to an armored knight. Meanwhile, Ouijawii taking out a ghost, working on some various hill grinding here with some, looks like Zone 1 enemies here, and you've got a Droll, a Ghost, just kind of chipping away at the levels here, getting a slight lead in experience. Granted, it's only by 7, but, well, now it's still by 7, as the Seawolf and Ouijawii both taking out a Warlock.
So far, not really seeing much in terms of stats here.
Well, the hacks are fast, so the gains are slow, apparently. But it's noted that the Red Dragons have Stop Spell when they're not attacking you for 50.
That can be beneficial later if you can Stop Spell the Red Dragon before it can Stop Spell you. If it just spams Stop Spells out, that gives you a chance to actually take it down without taking much damage.
And to answer a question in chat, this race is going fast in terms of levels, but slow in terms of gains. Plus, the overworld enemies are being rather nasty. We've got armored knights, we've got red dragons, we've got stone men with sleep and hurt more. So that has impeded our runners just a little bit. Now, the key to this race here, I mean, once our runners, once they finish here, a first place finish will garner them 5 points here in the league. Second place will get 3 points, third place 2, and fourth place 1 point. And here in week 4 of the 5-week regular season here in the league, every point is certainly crucial, as Link now finding the Rainbow Drop Cave, also known as the Jerk Cave, and that is inside the Vanilla Mountain Cave location. And finding the Red Dragon, hitting for 53 as well. Seawolf now working on a Wraith Knight. Xarnax heading back down to that grind zone. Ouijawii in a little bit of trouble hit point wise, but opting not to head back, is going to just take on some enemies here and eventually, I guess, death warp back, as Xarnax now heading up to level 8. And Seawolf finding the town of Rimeldar. So the Seawolf first to purchase some keys. Not a whole lot here necessarily, but that is, Rimeldar is where the town of Cole would normally be here in Vanilla. And we'll take a look here in the search chest. Erdrick's token. So that is a nice benefit for the Seawolf, as that is one of the essential items needed. Now Link going to head on over and purchase some keys as well. And Seawolf going to get a not so polite escort back to the castle. And so too is Xarnax, thanks to the Druin Lord. And Ouija's going to head back into the cave here. Meanwhile, we've got the Stones of Sunlight. We've got a set of and 2 more things in the treasury that I missed. And we have the confirmation, thank you in chat, of Herb, Death Necklace, the Stones of Sunlight, and the Wings. And Linkforce is going to go ahead and reconfirm that here. So we've got the Stones of Sunlight in the upper left, Herb in the bottom left, Death Necklace in the bottom right, and the Wings in the middle.
And it looks like basement holds the Staff of Rain Cave.
And chat noting that there's not the possibility for a gold grind. Technically, with the Death Necklace chest, you could, as we now see, all right, we've got the Silver Harp in Garanham, as well as the Cursed Belt and the Fighter's Ring. But if a runner wanted to, they could open that Death Necklace chest and do a very slow grind, as that usually gives about 100 gold per open, as opposed to the 500 to 750. And in the back of Garanham, we have Garen's Grave.
interesting thing here is the only thing that could possibly be gained here would either be the flute, if it's not in a search spot, or Erdrick's sword.
I think the sword is what they're looking for here, and in Link's case, probably gonna get right on out here if the sword's among the top 3, but we've got a magic key. There's Erdrick's sword, and a torch.
Well then, do we even need to explore the rest of the map?
Well, other than looking for Erdrick's armor, but in terms of exploring treasure chests with caves, not necessarily.
I think at this point, all that's needed to be found is going to be the Rainbow Drop Cave and the Swamp Cave, and then looking for armor, wherever armor may lay.
True. So with Link traversing further into Garen's grave, would have picked up the silver harp inside of Garenham along the way. Meanwhile, Xarnax and Ouijawii up to level 9. Oh, and Link finding a green dragon that sends him on back. And good point from Eternal Newbie in chat in that Linkforce perhaps looking for Erdrick's token, not knowing that it is in Rimeldar. And
so Rimeldar was useful.
Treasure chest behind. I believe that's because of the treasure chest glitch. At least I would certainly imagine so. Either that, or that was a very crucial mistake if Seawolf talked to the man but did not take the treasure chest.
No, I definitely did see him grab the treasure chest. He could have, however, had multiple Staffs of Rain, and I don't know what he would do with the extra.
Meanwhile, the vanilla town of Hawksness this time around is Breckenary. Good for a cheap inn on the way down. Or as Z-Man would commentate, oh look, it's Breckenary.
I can agree with those sentiments, especially in this case, as there's really nothing to be gained from Breckenary other than perhaps a large shield, if you have the gold.
Large shield, maybe a temporary armor upgrade while looking for Erdrick's armor, the best armor in the game. And Newbie in chat asking if we found Swamp Cave yet. We have not.
We are about to see what, well, maybe not quite, as Ouijawii is taking the long way around here. But we'll be seeing what the Vanilla Cantlin location holds. And Ouijawii giving us a vanilla token search, it looks like.
And we have the North Swamp Cave from Vanilla, actually containing the Tablet Cave, as Seawolf takes out a metal slime. And there's some big bucks in the Tablet Cave.
Unfortunately, Ouijawii taking a Dragon Lord breath from a Droll Magi, and Seawolf finding that out for themselves as well.
So, Droll Magi being more of a Troll Magi this seed. It was obligatory, somebody had to say it.
We're going to see what our Cantlin boss is, and it is a hard-hitting golem.
Extremely hard-hitting.
Depending on what may lay in the Cantlin town spot, a fairy flute may be wanted.
Well, I believe that based on the process of elimination, it looks like that is either going to be the town of Cole or the town of Cantlin in its vanilla spot. Which gives you access to 2 of the 3 search spots.
And a question in chat, is it possible for the fairy flute to be in the Cantlin town spot itself? I'm not positive if in 1.3 it can, But I do know that in the more current version, the searchable spot can actually be on the same spot as a town. You would just have to exit the town and search, because it puts you outside on the town location.
And newbie using some process of elimination, I believe that is correct, that the Vanilla Staff of Rain cave location is going to be the Northern Swamp Cave.
And the Hawksnest Guardian being trolly with the constant use of heals, and I believe that was an armor pick.
Yeah, that looks to be the case here, and Seawolf's just going to do a nice little grind here. And get up to level 10.
And Ouijawii and Linkforce both have made their way to Remolder now.
So we found the token in a chest, and with Erdrick's armor in Hawksness, the Fairy Flute is the only thing left, and that could either be in the town of Cole, or it can be in the overworld coordinates. As Link now going to pick up the Erdrick's token, dropping the Cursed Belt. Ouijawii, meanwhile, back into the treasury.
And in the Seawolf's case, they are going to head right back for that spot in Hawksness, most likely to do a grind here.
And Ouij seeing the contents of the treasury and opts to reset instead.
And have we actually seen the Northern Swamp Cave?
We have not, but I believe we have deduced by process of elimination that unless there is a programming bug that creates a lock where the vanilla Rainbow Drop Cave is actually Swamp North and Swamp South is in its vanilla spot, that it would have to be the Staff of Rain or Shrine Cave.
That's true. It would have to be the Northern Swamp, or the Northern Shrine location. So that would mean that South Shrine would then have to be the Mountain Cave, which of course will not be needed this time, right?
That looks to be the case, as all the other applicable items that could be sought out have been sought out. Fighter's Ring, Death Necklace, Erdrick's Sword. So the Mountain Cave will remain a mystery, and I believe so too will the 2 treasure chests deep in Garen's grave.
And Ouijawii securing a metal slime kill.
So now Staff of Rain over on Link's side, and while trailing a little bit in terms of levels, I believe with all of the items here, so once Link heads on over to the Rainbow Drop Cave, I believe is in grind and go mode. And thank you, Will Wagner Music, for putting that up in chat. If you want to give Dragon Warrior Randomizer a go yourself, the link to acquire it is there in chat, as well as joining the Discord, where there are races seemingly going on all the time. I have seen races conjured up in various points of the day and night, and even a couple deep into the night. Even more fervent here with people getting practice in for the leagues with the various league set flags. Which, after this week, the 5th and final regular season week is certainly going to be a little bit different in that Chaos returns into the mix. And yes, Xarnax taking out a red dragon. Link, meanwhile, acquiring the Rainbow Drop. So, pretty much just find the Erdrick's armor, grind and go. Or maybe grind, find, and go in the case of having to more than likely hit. Well, no, that's right. Find that Axe Knight, grind on that, and you're pretty much in go mode.
Which is exactly what the Seawolf is doing. Just needs to go and pick up their Rainbow Drop after they get done with the grind. So far, though, at level 11, HP stat is perfect, at least for a minimum here, but that MP and attack power are looking a little
paltry. Leaving a bit to be desired. But this Axe Knight, a great grind, and Seawolf pretty well catching up here in terms of experience. And we're being told that the statistics might be slightly askew on our tracker here. Maybe not accustomed to the 1.3 settings. Unless we're being given misinformation in chat, which is occasionally possible. There's so much going on and going so quickly here.
Well, I can tell for sure.
Able to be missed.
I can tell for sure the HP and the MP are lining up properly now. And with the full heal from the Seawolf at 104 HP, that does line up now.
And with that, the Seawolf has taken the experience lead. And Xarnax, staring death in the face, takes out the golem and is able to access the guarded town of Cantlin, which in this case is Cole, and nothing in the search spot there.
And I think Linkforce tried, looks like maybe tried to sleep the Red Dragon there. The Red Dragon responded in kind to the hit for 52.
And the golem's being problematic with the Dragon Lord 2 breath, as Ouij now picking up the Silver Harp. And Seawolf continuing to work on the Axe Knights and now gets up to level 13. 1, 7, 10, and 9 the gains on that level.
Yeah, that was another abysmal strength gain there.
So this looks like so far it's going to be one of those strength-starved seeds, especially with Hurtmore, I don't believe still yet acquired here at 13. We'll have to see when Seawolf goes to the spells again here. As Ouij now going to come in and get the big stick. There's Erdrick's sword. And Seawolf not wanting to tussle with a red dragon, attempting to run away, and then decides, oh, it's casting stop spell a lot? Alright, I'm just going to go after it here. And does so with just 4 MP, so no way to heal. And now Seawolf going to go in and acquire the Rainbow Drop. So the focus for Seawolf and Link at this point look to be... Well, Seawolf is definitely in grinding up mode. Link still has to take on and take out the Axe Knight to acquire Erdrick's armor.
Yeah, but at this point, with everything else that Linkforce has picked up, should be pretty much trivial. Ouijawii about to go and do the same.
Ooh, and Link having to do a lot of healing up, but had taken a Dragon Lord breath from a Droll Magi right to the face.
You know, a nice, well-placed stop spell on those Axe Knights would really come in handy, I think.
Just to avoid the trolling of heal, especially given... Oh, wow, it's casting heal quite a bit here, and then throwing the occasional fire up, and... Oh, Link is low on resources here. Is getting trolled by the Axe Knight heal.
Yeah, the same thing was happening with the Seawolf until he got the excellent move which stopped his heal in its track.
And Link not able to take out the Axe Knight. Ouij, on the other hand, looks to have done so and is now working on a bit of a grind here.
It looks like for the most part, all of the runners are in mostly the same place here.
Well, Xarnax, it looks like, working on the exploration, but the others moving right along here as Ouij now up to level 12. And Seawolf going to head down to Vanilla Swamp North, and we'll see that it's a tablet cave, and may go for the gold, but may also just opt out. Takes one step and realizes, wait a minute, I don't necessarily need this.
It looks to be most likely just trying to eliminate where the swamp cave is. Woohoo! And a 13 power increase on level 14.
Still no hurt more.
Hurtmore would definitely make the Axe Knights over in Hawksness a much more favorable grind.
And Xarnax, meanwhile, going all the way down to Vanilla Rimeldar, which is Cantlin. Doing a little bit of shopping at the proverbial mall of Alifgard. And we'll see if there is a coordinate check coming.
And we will see a large shield pickup for the Seawolf as well.
Ouij now going to go ahead and grab the Staff of Rain. As Link going to give it another go here with the Axe Knight. Try to sleep. Not a bad way to work around it, but...
A little perseverance and he gets it.
Attacking with 24. There's the Erdrick's armor.
And Xarnax about to walk into what must be the mountain cave at this point.
And just an unfortunate turn of events as what Xarnax is looking for, we know isn't there. Unless he's looking for more gold and herbs and torches and maybe a key or two.
If I remember correctly, there won't be any fairy water, as I don't think 1.3 had fairy water available.
A pair of empty chests, meaning that they are either herbs or keys, depending on what is maxed out in the inventory. And the starting 120 gold chest. And a set of wings. So now, we can go back to, or I'm going to take a look at the items here to see what Xarnax is still looking for. So the Stones of Sunlight and the Silver Harp not noted here, so I'm not sure if Xarnax opened up Garanham or the treasury down in Tandagel, but we'll see here as Xarnax now taking a death warp back to the castle. And is just now going to check the treasury. And it lists the chainmail, but that looks to be the... Well, it looks to be the treasure chest glitch coming into play here. How that works is that treasure chests respawn every time you go to the overworld map, but due to the programming limits at the time the game was made, it tracks only up to 8 chests as opened. So every chest open beyond the 8th chest can be taken over and over again. And in this case, with opening the 5 chests in the mountain cave, death warping back to the castle, the 3 chests in the throne room are already marked as open, so you don't take them over and over again. And then when you go to open chest number 9 in the treasury, you hope that it's gold so you can get 500, 750 gold over and over again. But Xarnax not able to find that, and now is going to take a look over here in Garanham, and will be delighted and frustrated at the same time to see there is the Silver Harp. And level 15 on Seawolf's side brings Hurtmore into the fray.
And he appears to have found a decent grind on a patch of desert here. If he can keep locating those armored knights.
And this is a bit of a challenge in that do you stick around this spot here, not too far from Sherlock Castle, but have a slightly less ideal of a grind? Or do you think, well, now that I've got the Hurtmore, do I go back to Garanham's vanilla location, go into Hawksness, and go ham on the Axe Knights? And the answer is, looks like stay in this area here, as I guess you have to wonder which is a bigger waste of time, the walking around looking to encounter enemies and occasionally running into ones that you don't want to take out, versus the time that it would take to walk from Garanham's vanilla location up to the Staff of Rain cave location to head back down to this area here.
It looks like he can also get an occasional red dragon for 255, so doing a walkabout here might actually be more ideal. And looking at our stats here, as long as they are accurate, we're not too far away on the attack power, but the MP is still dreadfully low.
And Ouijawii taking a death and is back to the castle. Xarnax going to head back into Garanham. I don't think had gone into the grave as of yet, but immediately had seen the Silver Harp and thought, all right, I'm going to trade this in.
I was a little curious as to why he was having to go back in there, as I would have thought he would have checked the cave here. And our first rainbow drop being used by Linkforce, perhaps going to go see what Sherlock has to offer.
Which, you look at the statistics there, is a little on the risky side.
Yeah, only at 100 max right now for the attack power.
And now up to level 16 for Seawolf, and looking at those stats, it is borderline. Although with that
that is tempting.
137, might want to use the Death Necklace, which will give an additional 10 attack power to your total at the cost of 25% of your maximum hit point.
Now, this is one of those ones where you can either sacrifice the HP for the extra 10 attack power, but at this point, he only has a total of 10 heal mores. I would think going for the doubles at this point would actually be... or perhaps another level even, it looks like. Meanwhile, Ouijawii actually making some great headway on these Axe Knights and Hawk's Nest grinding. And Linkforce seems to be enjoying the werewolf grind over here, close to Sherlock, along with the occasional Magi Wyvern. And Xarnax has found a plethora of Druid Lords here to take out.
Which, given how problematic the overworld enemies have been, it seems to be a nice area for Xarnax, finding the occasional Armored Knight, but otherwise you've got some solid enemies and a Wraith for 42 experience, the Druid Lord for 58, the Wraith Knight there for 72. So it's a nice, solid group of enemies that, alright, you're not going to necessarily one-shot them, but you can take them out fairly quickly.
And right now, all four doing their own grind in their own way. Can't say really at this point which is the most effective grind, just based on how much you have to wait for either the correct enemy to show up for experience on Xarnax, Linkforce, or Seawolf side, or if the for sure grind with the Axe Knights, even with having to wait for their trolliness, is better at this time as well.
Well, the other thing at this point, now Ouij has gone up to level 15, so we will see if Ouij is going to make that trek back now with the spell of Hurt more and just really start to make that grind even more efficient with the Axe Knights. And that looks to be what he is doing. So there's a good possibility that this experience differential here that right now is about 3,000 may get closed up here, but will it be too little too late, as we have the stats here for 17 with 12 power, and I think that's going to make it go time.
That'll do it. No Death Necklace needed. Go for the double, secure the win.
So now it's just a matter of how quickly Ouij can catch up, and will Ouij go to level 16, which is just a moment, another enemy away here? Or, once at 16, will Ouij go for 17?
At 16, it's definitely not a guaranteed, but it would be possible to still win with the stats you get at 16. But you would have to hope for some double hits, and it looks like Ouijawii is going to heal up and
see him go for it.
But not before being trolled by the old man in Garanham yet again. Thou shalt not buy items.
Thine gold is not wanted here, apparently.
And it looks like Linkforce has taken over the Seawolf's post here outside of Cantlin. And Xarnax has chosen to move off to the desert near the Vanilla Hawk's Nest location. Seems maybe the mountains weren't being quite as lucrative anymore.
And Seawolf is taking on a werewolf. And that's interesting. Not quite having the defense to damage break a werewolf. And he's just fighting everything.
I mean, the agility is actually pretty good here, so he should be able to run away decently from most enemies. Unless he really wants to get another level on the way down. I wouldn't really think it's needed, though.
The only thing I can think of is maybe the concern about the MP only having the 12 heal mores, and perhaps thinking, all right, well, if I get another level, get another couple of strength points, that will ease the concerns. Or maybe trying to build the defense up to a point of 86, where there's that guaranteed calculation that the Dragon Lord can attack for no more than 48.
I would have to say the defense points would seem a more likely reason than the MP. Or rather, the attack power here, with having the lower MP count. At 139, I mean, you're doing more than enough. You're doing, let's see, 9 to 19, I believe?
Let's see, 139 would indeed be 9 to 19 as far as range on the second form of the Dragon Lord. And I will admit that as I was giving that analysis, and I use that in air quotes, that a little bit of it was kind of brainstorming and pulling it from outside of the sheath of the Erdrick sword. So now the fifth basement here for the Sea Wolf, just a couple of more, and we're on the final zone of where Dragon Lord is. Meanwhile, Ouij doing a little bit of maneuvering and is going to make his way over toward Sharlock, but perhaps going to lay the rainbow drop down, and yeah, only 47 MP.
I'm not sure. He was right in front of Hantlin. I'm not sure why he didn't go in and go ahead and heal up.
Perhaps thinking that maybe 17 is the level.
Wow, that level 18 for the Sea Wolf. Oh, no more stats are needed.
Oh boy. Yeah, let's go ahead and take on a Dragon Lord here, boys and girls. Barring a miss menu, this is... And putting on the death necklace.
Now that's just being rude. He wants to punish that Dragon Lord.
Wants to make it a very quick fight. Wants to just Mike Tyson it. Go after the first round or two here. So going to have an attack range here of, what would that be, 12 to 25. So there's a 19. Oh my goodness. There's a 25 max. All right, we're at 44. Oh, but a miss menu. And he's cursed.
Thou hast failed, and thou art cursed. Get out.
And now this opens the door for Ouijawii. If the salesman in Cantlin can get off of Facebook. There we go.
Well, too bad that one doesn't have what he needs. That was one of the quality of life fixes in the later versions to where that salesman didn't have a choice. He had a counter no matter where.
Makes sense. The last thing you want is a very close match to be ruined by a trolley salesman.
I believe there's actually several NPCs that were removed in the later versions. I believe one of them was the trolley old man at the item shop in Garaham, along with the extra soldier who roams about in the throne room of Tantejo Castle.
So just a lot of things in the way that... kind of a little reminder of where things were with Dragon Warrior Randomizer in the past.
Yeah, certainly a fair amount of quality of life improvements were done, and Xarnax very quickly approaching level 17 as Ouijawii does hit level 17. Linkforce still taking the grind spot that Seawolf was using in front of Cantlin, quickly will be approaching level 16 as well.
And now Seawolf is going back across the Rainbow Bridge. Meanwhile, Ouijawii gonna stay at the Ritz Cantlin there at 100 Gold Inn. So a little bit of a lead here for Seawolf. We'll see how the enemy encounters go along the way here, but this is going to be pretty close between Seawolf and Ouijawii.
And it'll depend largely on what Ouijawii decides to do with the Death Necklace, I think, along with how well their dives go.
And Seawolf continuing to just, well, okay, opting to run away from that particular red dragon there. I'm surprised not going into any of the RLH strats. Run like heck.
You know, I have to agree with chat here, wondering why is the Seawolf fighting with the agility that he has. Running should be almost, a for sure thing.
Or certainly a high percentage play, and you see the difference here. Ouij not taking those battles and is on the same floor as Seawolf here, so is quickly catching up in the differential. And Seawolf not too terribly far away from level 19.
And Ouijawii looks to be maybe trying to grind on the way down for that level 18 just for, a bit of an extra boost. Xarnax, meanwhile, has picked up their Rainbow Drop and seems to be making their way to Cantlin now. Or to Sharlock and Cantlin, rather. They're both there.
And a great analysis from Unos in chat, noting that on average with the speed hacks, Jackamus noting it as well, that killing tends to be better than running, and there's level 19 now for Seawolf. Holy smokes.
Wow, that HP
125 hit points with the Death Necklace on.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just looking at.
And an attack range on Dragon Lord 2 of 13 to 27. And the Dragon Lord, well, it has anywhere from 150 to 165 hit points here in the randomizer.
And Ouijawii, meanwhile, is hot on his heels. But with the amount of attack power that the Seawolf has, even if Ouijawii manages to catch him, I'm not sure if he could catch him in the damage being done.
So about a basement and a half lead for Seawolf in terms of travel. And now running into a Trolley Star Wyvern.
And I believe Xarnax will be making their way to Sharlock after a quick heal in Cantlin, and Linkforce is right behind.
And last herb being used here for Seawolf, and is going to talk to the Dragon Lord, decline the offer to share half the world.
And Ouijawii opting to not go with the Death Necklace strats.
So we've got 22 and another 20. 69 plus another 17, that is 86. Wow, plus 22, we're up to 108 already. 132. Another heal more here for safety, a good thing. And 160. Oh my goodness, that was so fast. 132 and 26, 158.
That Dragon Lord just got punished.
That was revenge on behalf of most of the Dragon Warrior randomizer community. And get out your GGs in chat, as the Seawolf is going to take first place and a huge 5 points with an official SRL time of 55 minutes and 55 seconds.
And here comes Ouijawii not long behind him.
Yeah, as we were focusing on Seawolf, Ouijawii just kind of snuck in and got the kill as well, just kind of under the radar here, and is going to finish, wow, just 32 seconds behind with an official SRL time of 56 minutes and 29 seconds. And you knew it was going to be close, and I'm sure that going back and watching the VOD, there are so many things that could have been. You know, perhaps if that old man wasn't Trolly and Garanham in the beginning, that might have made it even closer for Ouijawii.
Yeah, Ouijawii definitely felt the trolls from that old man a couple of times even. I believe I saw Linkforce at some point being trolled by him as well. And we have Xarnax about to hit the bottom floor of Sharlock, so I guess we'll get to see, is Loto the evil king?
No, we have the mirror match. Dragon Lord v. Dragon Lord.
He'll be taking out his doppelganger.
It's like Cecil Dark Knight versus Cecil Paladin. Okay, maybe not. I just tried to squeeze a Final Fantasy IV reference in there. So now Xarnax is being offered half the world and is going to decline, quickly take out the Dragon Lord. And now here we go. We've got 11, 27, 37, 52, 62, 79, 92 with the double attack, 106, 123, 137, and 18 is 155, and Xarnax going to take out the Dragon Lord. So it definitely looks like Dragon Lord 2 was on the lower end of that 150 to 165 range. And get out your GGs in chat. Xarnax going to finish in third. Official SRL time, 59 minutes and 26 seconds. Just getting the sub-hour in. And now Link making the trek past the marsh, up the desert, into Sharlock Castle. Now, while Link is making the run here, we'll let you know about the rest of the races going on here among the Randomania networks. We actually have 2 races going simultaneously that started within the last 5 minutes here. Over on Randomania 3, you have Empty Eye, Beta Strep, Chitin619, and Bobski. And then over on Randomania, oh, yes, this is one that a lot of people have been looking forward to. You've got Ursine taking on Scorpion Max, Mr. Holmes, and Game Boy F9. And as if that wasn't enough, right back here on Randomania 2 in just under an hour, we've got race number 4. It's going to be Basp, the Alan Heffley, Braxis, and Tyrannex. And then deep into the night at 11 p.m. over on Randomania, you've got Ali Gerbrap against Janice, Will Wagner Music, and Schubinator. Now, Link traversing in the dark, bonking their way through Sherlock's basements.
And that floor there, that's the one that's painful to try and do in the dark, because if you take one wrong turn, you're stuck in a corner.
Yep, and now we have the light.
Of all the floors on Sherlock, I can navigate each and every one of them without issue, except for that one, the second basement. If you, like I said, if you take one wrong turn, you're just stuck bunking, and then you're just stuck.
That is usually my Achilles heel as well. So now searching the stairs, something I think we've all done at some point, erroneously.
I just wanted to make sure that the stairs were actually there.
Yeah, it's never good to walk on them and them not being there. It's like that Wile E. Coyote feeling the lack of ground underneath him before falling off the cliff.
Or occasionally running on thin air and, being able to grab just a sliver of the cliff.
True, that happens as well, although the way our runners have been going, they've definitely been moving more like the road runner here in this seat. And Xarnax noting in chat all the time wasted on Second Continent. And that looks to have been the challenge, as the mountain cave was not required in the slightest.
Seems like a bit of a debate on Link's side of whether they want the death necklace or not. Appears they do.
Goes for it. It's called a fool, and with the 10 additional attack power, looking at an attack range of 11 to 23. Oh, there's a big 20 to start. There's a big 23. 43 we're up to. 66. 86. Man, they've all been 20 or more here. Commentator's curse. There we go. 99. 112. 125. So probably 2 more hits here. 144. Next one should do it. And it does.
And just a quick look at the Axonite there. So that heal that it kept on being trolly with was a 75% chance. So that would explain why it was constantly casting it as soon as you got it down to 3/4 of its health. Or 1/4 of its health, rather.
Exactly. And GG's for Link, going to finish in 4th with a very respectable time, 64 minutes and 45 seconds. So the standings very close, and something tells me that with those 11s across the board, there's a good chance that we may see Xarnax, Ouijawii, and Seawolf in some semblance of a rematch next week for the final regular season round, as it is in the format of position round. So being very close in the standings, might see these guys facing one another in some capacity here. We'll see how it all shakes out. Also in the mix at 11 points is Lord of the Synth here, as well as Jay Coper looking at the standings. But still a lot more races to be had, and, well, we've got a few of those coming your way here in a little bit. So make sure to give our runners a follow here. Of course, Linkforce, Ouijawii, theseawolf1, and Xarnax42. And make sure to show some love for the folks behind the scenes. Scousin on Restream, Archfield Monk doing the tracking here. Very unenviable task. And Rio Station, Rio, it's always a blast commentating with you.
Oh, there's never a dull moment, that's for sure.
In this case, there's barely a moment to breathe in these seeds here. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a respite here, as I'll actually be back with you for the 10 o'clock race. But we're going to, what do you think? Should we head on over to Randomania, the Prime Randomania, for the big matchup between Mr. Holmes, Game Boy F9, Scorpion Max, and Earthsign?
I would say that sounds like a good idea.
Sounds like a pretty good plan to me as well. Well, for all of our folks behind the scenes and in front, as well as for my co-commentator, Ria Station, I'm Ferran Burgundy, saying until next time, may your moves be excellent and your seeds stay classy. I'm going to now throw the raid over to Randomania 1, I believe, or Randomania Prime, I should say. And we've got the big Dragon Warrior randomizer race with 3 of the top 4 runners in Game Boy F9, Mr. Holmes, and Scorpion. And look out for Earthsign, might pull that upset off as well. Good night, everyone.